My life continues to just keep changing and evolving. I had never thought about being an actor before. So I just said, I'm just gonna keep my head down, I'm gonna keep pushing forward, and we'll just see where this takes me anyways. It had opened up a whole new world for me. I feel like this is definitely a second career, but a second life as well. 1 year in, and life is really good. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for year 2. And so I've been looking at what I want to do with the Santa business, right? I've discovered this whole senior content creator opportunity for what's called the silver economy. And they're looking for senior content creators over 50 who want to make content specifically for people over 50. It's called the Silver Fox demographic. And that's me. I mean, so literally, this is a whole new area of business that I didn't know anything about a few weeks ago, and it could become a huge opportunity for me. So I'm doing research in this. I'm having an interview with the guy to talk about branding, to talk about this type of a strategy. So I'm super excited about this, this new opportunity, in addition to the acting, the modeling, and the Santa world. So my life continues to just keep changing and evolving. I'm very excited about that. Well, it has been the number one thing on my mind. I was on vacation with my wife for the last few weeks.
Talk about that.
So, we were in Palm Springs and I got sick. So the only thing we've been doing is hanging out by the pool and going to dinners at night. So I've had plenty of downtime, and this is the stuff that I've been thinking about. I mean, we always talk about, at this point of the year, we talk about what vacations we want to go to, what concerts we want to see, that kind of stuff. So we're in the planning phases for all of that. So that's exciting too, right? Thinking about what vacations. We're talking about going to India, we're talking about going to Greece, talking about going to Turkey. So there's a lot of excitement in my world right now. Yeah, we've actually been to 38 countries and 47 wine regions all around the world. It is one of the big things that we like to do. And it's very exciting, right? Meeting new people, learning new cultures, trying new foods, trying new wines. We just love that kind of stuff. So it's very exciting. I played a lot of sports. And then I got into the computer world. I got a master's degree in software engineering. Turned out to be, I enjoyed it. The mental challenge to develop software it's very intriguing, very enticing, very gripping. But it wasn't for me. And that's when I jumped into the sales world. And that was a lot more to my liking. And I liked being out, being in front of people and talking to people and solving problems. So that's when I got into the high tech stuff, and the career was very intense. So when it came to movies, I liked more, mystery or intrigue or international espionage. But, I also love Star Trek and Star Wars. I mean, who didn't grow up watching those shows? So I did not have much of a perspective on the film industry or what I would want to do in the film or modeling industry. I mean, I never in my whole life ever thought I would be a model. Then there was this fence and decking company that gave me an opportunity to come out and help them promote their business. It was amazing. Well, once I did that gig and I met that guy, I was like, holy cow, I can do this too. And so that's exploded. And now I've done 21 modeling gigs, The world is still so fluid for me, and I'm just enjoying the heck out of it. There's definitely a story, and it's a sad story, to be honest with you. My father died, and it really tore me up because not only was he my father, but he was also my best friend. So there was, two large holes in me, and it became the worst time in my life. Um, yeah, it was bad. It was really bad for me. Um, and so I lost my way, and my wife, being a loving woman, said, why don't you do something with your voice? She likes my voice. So, okay, great. All right. So I took some voiceover lessons, and I made a demo, right? And I signed up on Backstage and some other online casting sites and started applying for gigs. But then there was this one gig, a casting call for an acting job for a TV show on Amazon. And I'm like, well, why not? I mean, I've been in sales, right? I understand objection handling. I understand saying no or being rejected. So I applied, and I got it. They hired me. And it's just an extra, but I had never thought about being an actor before. So I was very excited, got on set, and got to see what it was really like to make a TV show. And that was very exciting. And then they called me back for the next day. I'm like, wow, maybe I should check into this, or I can do this, right? So I applied for 8 more acting gigs, and they're all extras, but whatever. And I got them all. And I didn't even know what to even think about that. I mean, my head was spinning. I talked to Lisa, my wife. I'm like, babe, I don't understand what's going on, but it's very exciting. I'm having a good time. I'm learning something new. And so I just said, I'm just going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep pushing forward, and we'll just see where this takes me anyways. And wow. As you've said, it had opened up a whole new world for me. Right? The universe was basically saying, hey, you've got this second career. You've got this second life you need to get to. Come on over here. And oh my goodness. So here we are. 1 year in, and life is really good. You have to stay determined. You have to stay focused. You have to learn from your mistakes. And there's a lot of folks in this town who are willing to be very helpful and give you their impression. So I leverage that a lot. But I also, being in sales, you have to be very professional. So I've always created cover letters for every audition, regardless of how big or how small it was, a professional cover letter. I use ChatGPT to help me write it, right? I put in all the points that I want to make, and then I let ChatGPT come up with the first version, and then I change what I want, and we just iterate until we get to the point where I think this is the best I can do in terms of this specific audition. Send it in, and it's been very helpful. Literally, my close rate is around 30%. I mean, I was determined and I was focused, and I was able to allocate full time to this, right? So I'm already retired. So there's a lot of folks here in Portland who aren't retired, and so acting and modeling is a weekend or a hobby for them, right? So they would obviously have to take a different approach than I did. So I just set out my focus. I'm going to do this 7 days a week. Right? I'm going to go through all the online casting sites. I'm going to go through Facebook 3 times a day. First thing I get up in the morning is I check all the websites. I check everything. If there's anything that I feel I want to apply for, I just do it right then. Then I get on with my day. After lunch, I go through everything again. Same thing, just I need to stay focused on looking for the next opportunity. So that's a heavy dedication, heavy focus. I think that's very important in this industry. So that felt really good. Again, trying to be as professional as I can, trying to separate myself from the competition, right? I think that also helped. When you're on set, when you're an extra or you're just beginning, you don't know what's going on. So having opinions, speaking up, those aren't things you should really try and do, right? You should just listen to what's going on, listen to the directors and the producers, and try and understand what they're doing, or what they're trying to get done with the film, and just do what's asked of you. Don't speak a lot when you're not spoken to. Be collaborative, be helpful, offer to do non-acting things if they need that, right? Get them to see that you have a very positive attitude and you want to be helpful to the entire project. That I think is another thing that has separated me from my competitors. Yeah, a guy like Logan Cannon and Scott Bernard Nelson, they've been great help to me, almost mentoring me. And so those guys are great guys. I love them. Yeah, there are directors out there who, not only do they want to make a film, but they want to build a community, like Billy Caldwell. He's great. Do you know Billy Caldwell? Okay, all right. Not only does he do film, he offers up free education for anyone who wants to try and get into making vertical short films, right? He teaches, or he shares all of his experience. He talks about the tools. He puts together these film festivals for 60-second challenges, right? I mean, he's trying to help the entire community get better in the film industry. And I've been fortunate enough to get cast by him, and now I've been in 6 of his films. So, I owe that guy a lot, without a doubt, no doubt about it. So that's been really good. There are a lot of networking events, right? You got to go to those, and you got to meet people. You got to introduce yourself. You have to have some talking points, what you're working on, what you liked. It is a sales job. It really is. There's no doubt about it. So when I was in the sales world, I would sell the job and then I would bring in people to do the work. Now I have to sell the job and do the work. So I do that, and it's working thus far.
You're literally selling yourself.
Right. When you're a freelancer, no one's working on your behalf, or very few people are working on your behalf, right? So it's all about you and how much you want it. The number one role is some kind of a medical expert. Anything, a doctor, some kind of a specialist, whatever it is. I am perceived as a medical expert first and foremost. Right? And then after that, it's like a CIA guy or FBI or a detective or a cop, some kind of law enforcement authority figure. That's the second most important one, or one I've been cast in the most. Like a spokesperson or a senior citizen who's a mentor to people and wants to help people, right? That's another one that I get cast in regularly. So I guess that's my my archetype, if you will, right? And when I step back and I think about it, that sounds right. I'm here where I live. I'm the president of the HOA Association. Right? So there, again, I'm another authority figure. So I think that's a natural archetype or role for me. I've only been in it for 1 year, right? And my motto was, if there's a casting call out there, regardless of what it was for, but if I felt like I had a better than 50% chance, I would apply for it. Right, so I'm trying to stay in my lane and just, get a resume, build experience, build networking. So in my personal opinion and in my experience, someone should figure out what their lane is and stay in it for the first year. And then once you have experience, once you know some directors, once you see what you've gotten cast for, then spread your wings a little bit. And that's where I'm at. When you start out in the film industry, you have to be willing to do a lot of non-paid work. So I didn't care whether it was paid or not paid. I didn't care if it was an indie film or a commercial or a music video. I mean, I've done all kinds of different things: trailers, feature films, indie films, like I said, music videos, commercials, whatever it was. If I fit the age bracket and the demographic description, I went for it regardless of whether it was paid or non-paid. And I thought that was the fastest way or the cleanest way to get a resume, get experience, get a network. So that was my year one approach. Well, I fit the age bracket. I fit the demographic that she had laid out in the casting call. And I'd never thought about being a Santa before. But why not? I mean, I like Santa Claus. Who doesn't like Santa Claus, right? So I applied for it, and she said, yes, you have the perfect look for Santa Claus. I'm like, okay, great. So at that point, I thought it was just another gig. But the gig wasn't for another 3 weeks. So I started doing research on Santa, and I discovered this whole world of opportunity. Santa is a business. It's not just about acting. I mean, certainly you can do all the corporate events, the at-home events, go to the churches, do all that stuff. Now they have Santa Zoom. I did Santa Zoom calls just a couple weeks ago. You know, for little kids, and 10 minutes, you get on there, you just have a good time. Prior to the Zoom, you know, mom gives you some information so you can just have a real fun conversation. And that was very heartwarming. One of the things that I really liked on my first gig, when the child saw me, he came running at me, and he basically just jumped into my arms. And I could just feel this pure joy, this pure energy just coming right onto me. And I mean, that felt great. I knew right then and there that Santa Claus was for me. Yeah, it was great. When I was doing my research, I found out that there's actually Santa schools. So I did some research on that, and now I'm part of the Worldwide Santa Claus Network. Ed Taylor, he's known as the greatest Santa Claus portrayal artist ever. He's a great guy. You can be an MC, you can give speeches, you can be in movies, you can be in TV shows, you can be in commercials, you can do all kinds of volunteering opportunities. Literally, you can make a whole business. There are Santa Claus opportunities all year long. This year, right, today's January 5th, I've already been asked to quote for 4 Santa gigs that have nothing to do with Christmas. Little kid birthdays, a corporate party, Santa in July. I mean, it's just amazing. And so I'm creating my own Santa Claus website specific to just Santa Claus, not the acting or the modeling or the content creation, just Santa Claus. Ed's helping me with that. Again, it's just all these opportunities I had no idea existed, a couple years ago. And now my world just is changing and it's evolving. And I feel like this is definitely a second career, but a second life as well. And I love it. Specific to Santa, I don't want to be your typical Santa. I'm not going to have one of those long, scraggly beards. I'm going to have a well-manicured beard, right? My suit isn't going to just be this huge thing that just makes me look like a big ball, right? I'm my Santa outfit is tailored and it fits me, and it looks good, right? So they call it a fit Santa or a modern Santa. So I'm gonna position myself in that way, and if they want a traditional Santa, I mean, I can do that too, right? Not a problem. But that's how I want to differentiate on the Santa side. Now, on the acting side, what I would say is I want to have more of a focus, like my theme, if you will, would be work smarter, not harder. So I'm not going to just pound after it. Am I just fitting the demographic and the age? I want it to be very specific to me, my brand. All right, that's a whole nother thing, right? I'm meeting with the guy to develop my own personal brand. So that's going to cause me to further focus or reduce the number of opportunities I apply for, but hopefully it'll kick up my win rate even higher, right? And let all the other opportunities go to everyone else. I don't even worry about those. I just want to focus on my brand and the opportunities that I am really aligned for. So that should differentiate me, I'm hoping. Doing some research, I found out there's something called a Silver Fox demographic. So I went online, what is a Silver Fox demographic? And there was all these photos on Google. That's where I went. And they all look a lot like I do. So my brand is probably going to be something along the lines of the Silver Fox demographic, whatever the industry term is. I think it's great, right? The term that I used before I discovered Silver Fox was classic male vibe, right? So I've got this salt and pepper beard, and I wear navy and brown and olive. These are things that fit a classic male vibe. So I need to get a handle on that, have a top-down focus, and that will help further clarify the decisions I want to make in the future, the actions I want to take, and hopefully it will just keep things rolling in a positive way for me. Social media. Before I got into acting, I didn't care about social media. The only time I ever posted anything on Facebook was when Lisa and I would go on vacation, or if we'd go on a hike with our dog, or there was just something that was really cool. Other than that, I didn't care about Facebook. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have TikTok, right? That was all for the 20-year-olds. And now I'm on many social media platforms every day. I'm learning what to post, how frequently to post. And so I'm getting more views. I'm getting more likes. Some of my stuff is now getting shared and saved. So this is a whole new world. And I've noticed through, just seeing what people put out on Facebook, my actor friends and my model friends, not a lot of them are doing that. Maybe 10%. So I think that's an opportunity for a lot of folks to raise awareness for themselves. And then recently I found out you can actually make money on social media, right? Facebook, I got an email from them saying, hey, we want you to be a content creator for you. We're going to pay you. And I just got my first $5 check. It's only $5, but I got paid for posting on Facebook. That's shocking, but it's very exciting. To be honest with you, there is no balance. 7 days a week, I work. So if you're just starting out, work 7 days a week. That's if you don't, you are not helping yourself. I went on vacation. I still applied for gigs. I still did self tapes. I did auditions. I did Zoom calls. You have to want it badly. And if you don't, then it's a hobby. And if you want it to be a hobby, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want a full-time career, you have to work at it full time. That's just the facts of it all. I had the sales job, so I was traveling a lot. 3 to 4 nights a week, I was out of town. So I didn't really have a lot of free time. And when I would come home on the weekends, Lisa would have this honey-do list, and we would just have to get stuff done, and she would want to reconnect, and we want to go out to dinner and have a good time. So we would go hiking. We have a house in Bend, so we go over there and do what you do in Bend. But there wasn't a lot of free time. So my life has been pretty focused for a long time. I hope to do either an acting or a modeling gig on the day that I die. Literally, this is something I can do for the rest of my life. And anyone who wants to, be in the senior world and be an actor, there's always going to be senior roles. Just given the way the demographics of this country are working, right? Long after I'm gone, there's still going to be lots of senior acting and modeling opportunities. So, for the rest of my life. Well, from an acting perspective, connect with the directors who make films that involve seniors, right? So that's definitely one. Connect with the brands that want seniors. I like to do the luxury stuff, like watches and wines and whiskeys and senior clothing, that kind of stuff. On the content creator side, there's a lot of seniors out there who they're looking for advice, and they don't want it from a 20-year-old, right? They don't care what a 20-year-old thinks, but someone who's almost 60. I have a lot of experience in life, and as long as I share my experience, here's how it works for me, or here's what I did. I think there's going to be a huge following, a huge content creator role for me going forward. And it's going to be for any senior who wants to look at it that way and do those kinds of things. The opportunity is there. All right, come here, buddy. All right, yeah. So this is Cole. Yep. I'm actually his agent. So if you want him on your film or your commercial, just let me know. He and I have been an extra on a movie already, and we've been in 4 commercials advocating for different type of dog products. So he's a very good dog. He's very well mannered. He's very friendly. He thinks everybody should love him. So he will come up to you and he will think that you're going to pet him. And he'll give you a big smile and he'll use his eyes to manipulate you. He has figured it out. He's figured out the game just as well as anyone else has. He's a great dog. Yeah. Well, that's a good question. It has to be something in the authority figure archetype. But I haven't been president of the United States yet. That would be something something interesting. I've only done a couple faith-based movies, so I'd be open to broadening my career in that realm. Because things are still evolving so much for me, there isn't one specific role. Literally, as a life philosophy, I don't like to have favorites. I'd like to enjoy things for whatever they represent. What's your favorite food? Well, I like sushi, I like Italian, I like Indian, right? I don't want to nail it down farther than that. I want to enjoy what there is to enjoy about each option or each thing, whatever you want to call it. two movies that I've enjoyed a lot. Gladiator, Russell Crowe. That was a great movie. I've seen it so many times. Are you not entertained? I want a line in a movie where I say that. The other one I liked a long time ago was Highlander. I think there is a huge opportunity to redo Highlander. You know, now that we have all this CGI and now AI, I think you could make just a whole new redo of it, but all the characters could be much more dynamic. I think it could be a very interesting film. That would be great. Do not be afraid to fail. That's a big one. You're going to fail, right? You're not going to get every gig. 30% closure rate, that's high. And I've laid out why I think I have a 30% closure rate. So you're going to fail. You're going to fail a lot up front, right? Talk to other people and learn what you can. Be willing to listen, be humble. Your first year, you don't know what you're doing. So I don't want to say act like you don't know what you're doing. Fake it till you make it. That's a better way. That's a better way to say it. Believe in yourself. Learn every day, every single day. You got to just keep learning something new, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Have a very positive attitude and be willing to work 7 days a week. That's how you're going to make it in year one. That's what I would say.
All right, so read that out loud and answer it.
What role does honesty play in your definition of happiness? Oh, that's a good question. This town is too small to be dishonest. You tell someone something that's not true, well, they know this person over here, and this person knows you, and it will get discovered in an instant. So stay honest, stay true, stay friendly, stay humble. That's how you're going to win.